Today I'm at the Elvis and Kresse workshop in Kent to find out why their bags, belts and homeware earns them an Eco Crown. You will not believe what this is made of. In 2019 I'm on a personal mission to make my lifestyle the greenest possible and to encourage us all to think more consciously about our everyday purchases. So, luxury handbags and environmentalists aren't two things that normally combine, so I would love to hear a bit about your story and your brand.
I've always been fascinated by waste. I discovered that 100 million tons of material went to landfill. I suppose I was quite annoyed by that, and that really gave me the idea that if I was going to do a business project in the UK or any kind of project, that it would have to involve waste. And then I found the fire hose and I fell completely in love with it.
Amazing. Well, I'm excited to see these hoses and to see the products that are made out from them. So let's have a look.
This is our key raw material. This is what we first fell in love with. So the first thing we do is we have to take the edges off, then we clean it. Once it's clean, we then can use it as belt stock if we want to make belts, but if we want to make bags, then we have to go through another process. You have to feed it through that machine, and that machine will peel the hose completely in half, and that gives us 88 meters of bag making material.
Which is a lot of raw material.
Which is a lot of raw material, and it's fairly uniform.
We can see behind us right here.
This is our sort of stash right now.
How do you then make the pattern for the bags or the belts? So like how does that now work?
So when you start backwards and you're always trying to solve a problem, you want to solve the whole problem. You don't want to create yet more waste. So all of our patterns are based on this 10 centimeter width.
So that there is no waste
Yes.
in your pattern cutting.
Yes, it's kind of a zero waste system.
So we can see some of your bag collections over here, and there's obviously a lot of fire hose. There's also other materials being used. So can you tell me a bit about how that's sourced?
In this backpack, we have decommissioned fire hose, we have rescued leather, which is joined together in our system. And then if I open the bag up, I've got a lining that's made from material that we reclaimed from Burberry. So the bag, outside of the zipper and the threads, made from rescued materials. It's also stuffed with waste paper, waste newspapers to be precise. And when it gets packaged, it's packaged in a dust cover made from reclaimed materials, and it will even go out in rescued packaging, which we also make ourselves. So there's kind of an obsession there.
This leather is from offcuts. How is that kind of pattern effect useful in making the patterns for your bags?
Well, if you have a cowhide is sort of shaped like this, and that's not the shape of a handbag or a car seat or anything like that. So these companies will cut out the pieces that they want, and then the negative space tends to fall to the cutting room floor. And that can be tiny little bits of scrap or larger bits of scrap. And we designed this system, which works a lot like Lego, because you have 3 shapes that kind of repeat and repeat and repeat. And by combining those, we can make whole new hides. We made a leather tapestry for a hotel in Tennessee that was 40 feet long and 10 feet high, and was 10,000 hand-woven pieces.
That's incredible.
So we can do things that leather couldn't do, but yet we're retaining the value and the beauty of the leather material. So if we have 1,000 kilograms of waste leather, with our system we can save 720 kilograms. So it's an incredibly efficient way of using this raw material.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Other luxury brands, you know, you can be paying £7,000 for a handbag. Like how much would you pay for one of these items?
Traditional luxury might price what they think the market will bear, and our pricing is entirely based on labour. These are labour intensive, actually probably more labour intensive than some luxury bags, because we're using 1, 2, 3, 4, you know, how many pieces, and they might for one face use one piece. But this bag is £245. So it's quite reasonably priced. If we make it completely unaffordable for people, then we're making something that's socially responsible and environmentally responsible, only suitable for people with a lot of income, and we don't want that to be the case.
I guess the unique thing about these bags is that every item is different.
Yeah.
Right, there's no item that's the same here, they're all unique.
They're all completely unique, and actually we do a lot of bespoke projects for people, so even if someone comes to us and they still want something that no one else has, that's definitely something that we'll be able to deliver for them.
So it really feels like Elvis and Kresse is not a traditional business. So how do you run this company differently?
I think we started obviously with a very different DNA, and the DNA was rescue materials. And then we decided to transform those into really beautiful things. And the third thing that we do that's quite unique is that we give 50% of the profits to charity. And by combining those sort of three aspects of our DNA, we naturally fit quite well into what is known as the social enterprise movement. And these are all businesses that at their core are solving social or environmental problems. So in terms of their priorities, impact is kind of number one, and profit is really only a consideration because it helps you fund impact. We're very, proud to be a part of that movement. We were also one of the first UK B Corps, which is a growing movement of businesses. Shareholders are not more important than the people and the planet. And one of the rules that we have is if we think that something is going to be bad for other people's grandchildren, we don't do it. It takes selfishness out of the equation. It takes exploitation off the table. It makes environmental degradation impossible for you. It means that in the long term, you are probably going to be a business that stays around.
So there we have it. If you need a luxury handbag in your life, don't go to Bond Street. Check out Elvis and Kresse.